Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it is, I don't have to tell you, it's right below. There it is. Don't have to tell you the date and time. Anyway, I guess I'll get used to that eventually. Um, some of you uh, may know about me using uh, Spectrum for internet service. Well, and back in the beginning, I've used it for, cable. Came over it. Um, Cable television and what have you. They, uh, I want to say a criminal enterprise, but that's not correct. Uh, they just, I don't know how to, well, I think stupid because I was saying that in the very beginning that they were, going to drive everybody away from cable. That I didn't know the term that came on later on. That people started talking about cutting the cable. Um, but we stayed with Spectrum for a long time, and just the last couple of months, 2 or 3 months or whatever, I decided to switch to Verizon, and they pulled the same type of uh, insanity. I mean, really, for a business to, I was telling them, well, I lost it. I mentioned in several previous videos that if I'd have been there in person, they would have called security to come because because I dealt with them in the past, and they just, uh, well, the last thing they did, but they did that for a long time. Uh, when you call up to cancel a service or see if you can get a cheaper service or whatever, they just pull. Uh, they must think that you're really, really stupid. And I guess they probably do deal with some. But uh, all I wanted to do was go for this last time was to go from, I've been paying for a gig down, never getting a gig down, but I was getting steadily 500 down. And I called just after years of paying for a gig, not getting a gig, I called and I just, okay, I want to cut it down to 500. And they kind of tried to talk me out of it. Well, we've got this deal. There's this deal over here, whatever, but nothing, that would do what I wanted it to do. I'm talking about Spectrum, by the way. And then they did what they've done in the past is, the guy seemed nice. Okay, well, Mr. Howard, okay, well, I'll take care of that, right now. Okay, now I'm going to put you on hold for a little bit here and go and put the order in. And I said, okay. And then they put on for 5 or 10 minutes recordings of their, products, everything they have, a cell phone and whatever. Then the guy comes back. Okay, well, they're working on that now. Now I'm going to go check, and you just hang on here, and I'm gonna go check and make sure that they've got the correct address. And I thought, oh come on, you got the correct address. I've been with you. I didn't say it. I was thinking, you got the correct address. You got everything. I've been doing business with you people for years, and you've been screwing me. And I didn't say that. Not then. At the end of the whole thing, I just went ballistic. It's a wonder I didn't have a stroke or something. Blood pressure and everything else probably going up. I was screaming at him because they put me on hold. The guy comes back and they're, you know, playing the advertisements for the products that they offer and how great everything is. And he must have done that about 10 times. I swear to God, about 10 times. Um, he came back and pull that bullshit. And of course, I wanted him to know at that time, I just wanted to cut the thing down to 500. And but then I told him, I said, Well, so you're tired of playing all these commercials for me. You're finally going to take care of this thing. Oh, yes, Mr. Howard is taken care of. Blah, blah, you know, so that was the end of that. Then when Verizon came around, then I called them up, told them I was canceling, and then they put on the same shit, and I went crazy. And by the way, I'm somebody that I just don't get that way. I'm not that kind of a person. Um, I worked hospital security for 30 years, and I I don't know how many times I had to put somebody down to the ground and handcuff them or whatever. A lot, and I was always cool. You know, I even finally got one of those Casio watches or whatever, where you put your finger on it and it gives you your heart rate, I guess, or blood pressure, which is must be heart rate. And so I jokingly, I was, well, sort of, I was joking and not. I told the nurses, oh, I got this new watch and everything. Oh, yeah. And I said, what I'm going to do when I have to fight somebody here, when they really, whatever, and I'm going to get my heart rate. And of course, I was joking about this. Keep. I said, now what'll happen is once I get this heart rate that I know, is going high because I'm having to fight with this person, then anytime there's a problem and somebody's giving me some trouble, I'll just take my pulse, and when my pulse gets to that, then it's, I forget how I put it. And so not long after that, well, I think after that I had to put somebody down to the ground and handcuff them or whatever. Not long after that, and then the nurse came over, Jim. I had the person there, with handcuffs on, waiting for the police to show up. And the nurse says, okay, what's your blood pressure, or what's your pulse? And I said, it's the same. It hasn't moved, And then the next time which was shortly after that, it just happened shortly, it wasn't long after that. The same thing happened. I had to arrest some. That was a woman, though. Had to put her down. She, wow. Put her down on the ground, handcuffed her or whatever, and then the nurse came over. Jim, did you get your thing? And I said, yeah, I did. It's not up. It wasn't, it wasn't working. At least for me. And that's just the way I was. And I've had two of the ER doctors out there that on different occasions, not together, they hadn't, and I forget what came up, I think I can't remember exactly what was said. The doctor said, Jim, you're always so calm about everything, everything, you're just so calm. And then I think one of the doctors said, well, that other security, because we was just, we didn't have two on a shift or anything like that, that other security officer, he gets really upset. And he said, you never get upset. But this time with Spectrum, I went insane. So I called back and went crazy and disconnected and signed up for Verizon service. And when I was screaming at them, and telling them, I said, you people are so, don't you understand, didn't you understand years and years ago that people were fed up with the way you operate, and that, they were cutting the cable and, going, because of your the way you operate yourself. I said, what you should have done is reduced your prices a little bit instead of constantly coming up with ways to raise the amount. I said, you should have just cut. And then when these other people come around, Verizon and these other ones come around and offer better deals, people would say, well, no, I've been with, I've been with Spectrum for a long time and they've been fair. And then, you wouldn't be in a position you're in now. So anyway, they've come out just fairly recently with, in fact, I've gotten 2 things in the mail so far from up to the mailbox. And let's see if I can show. Let's see, is this? No, I couldn't pull it up without. I don't want to log in to Spectrum. Um, but what they fairly recently came out with is, oh, I forget what it is, internet service, and the price is good. I mean, it's much better than their unbelievable expense, and but okay, this is Spectrum. Okay, well, this gives you a little bit of an idea of it, but it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't truly, Okay, so you'll see an advertisement: 300 down, $50 a month for 12 months. Of course, that's what they did too with their television cable service, you know. And they'd have something, okay, discounted, and that would be for a year. And you wouldn't believe how long a year. It doesn't take very long, especially if you get older. It seems like they come faster. And then bang, and they just pulled it. But this deal here, I haven't read all the details on it. But okay, 300 down, $50 a month for 12 months. But then they're going to raise the price, which is what they always did, And plus, okay, you don't if you call in and you want, okay, I'll take that $50 a month, I'll pay $50 a month for 12 months. Okay, it's going to go up. But you can't get it for $50 a month. You have to, let's see, with auto pay. Okay, that's okay, but you get it for $50 a month, but you have to have it on auto pay, and you have to online exclusive. Okay, so for unlimited mobile, you get unlimited mobile if you've taken Spectrum 1, and then you get so what's going to happen. You're not going to get it for $50 a month. They're going to say, well, that's with such and such. Oh, that's with, okay, now you need such and in order to do it. So they still haven't learned. So back to when I was in Miami, Florida, and I forget which company it was. They had these boxes out by the street, on between the street and the sidewalk, on that area there. They had these boxes. Now, it wasn't all over. They were installing these boxes, and so they could, hook you into the thing. But what happened is I don't know how many of these boxes they installed in Miami. Not the entire area, I'm sure. But what they realized was, hey, this is going to be, there's going to be satellites in the sky beaming it down. There's going to be all these other things. And it cost a lot of fucking money to, have a cruise going out and laying the cable, running it, that kind of stuff. So they just, I think they made a deal with one of the Dish people then, I believe. I'm not sure of this. They made a deal with the Dish people because they knew this other stuff was coming, and it was much cheaper for them just to go with, the towers and that kind of stuff. And so that was in Miami. Now, so when I came to Texas fairly recently, well, one, I watch Tech TV or whatever, by the way, and I forget where their headquarters is, small town there in California. And they talked about what was going on in California with high-speed internet service. And you could see then, too, the way the pattern of things were going. So then here in Texas, well, I called around, about different services, and that some of them they would say, okay, well, oh, we don't have it in your area yet. And now I forget the company, but I was out one day going to someplace, walking, and I forget the company. They had their trucks out there, and they were digging, for cable, and they had written on the sidewalk too, with instructions or whatever, a box here and a box there or whatever. And I asked them, they didn't give much information. And so they were coming up the street out here in front of the apartment complex that we live in. So when I went to the office here, I said, "Can I ask you something?" I said, "Is such and such cable company, have they made a deal with you that they're going to, and that you're going to let them come in here and do the?" And then she looked at me like I was crazy. What are you talking about? She didn't say that, but it was like, well, what are you talking about? Because I'd heard out in California and other places like that what was happening is these cable companies were going to hotels and to apartment buildings or whatever and making an exclusive deal. Hey, sign up with us, and your people here will have, and you'll get such and such amount of money. And it would be an exclusive thing. So some other company couldn't come in. Now they could do a dish thing. Well, they wouldn't be a probably mount a dish on a building, But so I thought maybe that was happening here. But what happened was they came up the street out here, and we have a fire station right on the edge here of our apartment complex, and they hooked up the fire department. And I forget how I knew that they actually hooked them up. And so then I asked some firemen, "Have you got such and such?" "Yeah, if you got high-speed internet?" "Yeah, I got high-speed internet." But they stopped doing it right there. So close, but yet so far. And so today, we just got this from our apartment complex. Spectrum, you know how much I love Spectrum, right? Spectrum Service are coming soon. Hunter Park has signed an agreement with Spectrum to provide internet to your community. The service will be activated on January 5th of 2024. Basic includes Spectrum Internet Ultra, speeds up to 500, one modem, one router, and no data caps. And then it says, speak to your property manager about these exciting news and learn how you can update your lease to include these amenities today. Residents will receive mail communication approximately 1 week prior to the service's start date. The communications will provide directions on how to activate this service. And save up to 60% on your mobile phone bill. And it says go to what you're seeing on the screen, by the way, now. And so it will be interesting to see. But I think they're going to do the same thing. In fact, I think this is probably, it's not going to be it's not going to be, well, they don't even tell you here what it's going to be. But I don't think you're not going to get, let's see, well, it does say 500 though instead of 300. So maybe they're smart, and maybe they're finally getting smart, and that they're not going to screw you, or at least they're going to use KY or whatever. Perhaps they're going to use a something to make it not hurt so bad when they screw you. But I'll be interested to see how this works out. Would I go if it was a flat $50 a month. Oh, but you can tell that, you know, of course, you know, the apartment complex here is going to make some, going to make some money on that, which is okay, you know. But I mean, the boxes are already out on the buildings around here, and I'm not sure how that works out. I mean, they've been here because, like, people around here have used maybe a different internet service or a TV, whatever, and they use a box. So the box that's out there, I guess the companies have a key, and they can come out and they can put in a modem in there, and somebody else can have the slot, next to it, and somebody else's slot they could have, So it's not a box for, because different companies do hook into it. So it'll be interesting to see. Okay, what else did I want to say? Oh. A couple of days ago, I was doing streaming video before there was a YouTube. I've mentioned that many times. Kind of proud of it. Kind of an accomplishment. But so I did streaming video using my own computer, whatever, for years. I've talked about that, so I won't talk about it again. But I have had difficulty. In the past, I've done some streaming video and had problems. I was able to do it, but I had problems. I was able to do it, had problems. And I've had problems recently. I've wanted to start doing some streaming video because I think people really like it, and some people ask about it and stuff like that. And so a few days ago, I made streaming video, and it worked. Worked fine. And then I thought, okay, I like it. And then I appointed a couple people right away. That time that I did it, two people donated a small amount of money. They do it at Bing, online. Goes in the bank. And so I made both of those people chat monitors or whatever. And that helped out because my problem in the past when doing something like that is I'm not that crazy about the chat. Well, in the past when I did streaming video, well, no, I did have people that were in chat. It varied. But in the few times in the past that I did it here, and when it worked, people would pop into the chat room. So I'd be talking to somebody, and then they'd pop in, of course, and then they'd ask a question that was different than what we were, And then I would answer that, and then somebody else would pop in, and then they would ask a question that was over, and it just, I wasn't able to do anything because I was having to zero in on that. But with these two guys, and that's the first time I think I had somebody that was in the chat room to handle that kind of stuff. And I thought, this will work okay. I can still do my videos the way I do it, and just occasionally maybe get hauled over or to the chat thing or something, or see what's going on and then jump in or something. So I thought, that's great. So then the next day I thought, okay, it was successful. I'm going to go ahead and boom, doesn't work. Doesn't work. I try it. I tried it several times. I tried it this morning. It just doesn't work for me. I went and ran OBS. Maybe it was OBS that I tried, I think. And it doesn't want to work for me with this with the streaming, and I don't know why. It was so easy the other day. So that's my next project. Well, also my next project is I really want to go to Apple software to go with the new, let's see, let me show you that. Amazon. Where are you, Amazon? I'm having a hell of a time seeing. I put off having these cataracts removed too long. Amazon, where is Amazon? Here it is. Go to orders, no, go to list. Okay, I did have the Apple iPad that was not this expensive on my wish list. But then I decided, no, really, I I'd really, and I'd need this one. And I could use that other one, I think, although I've never been an Apple person. But this seems like this is the one to go because of the stylus is better than the less expensive one and some other things. So when I can afford this Apple iPad 9th generation, and I just love this A13 Bionic chip. That just sounds so great. I want to switch from Windows and I'm not using Linux right now, but I've used Linux off and on over in the past. So I want to switch to Apple. And so that's if I'm around long enough, want to switch to this. They don't have the price here. Why don't they have the price? Okay, so this is the iPad. iPad 10th generation. This is the 9th generation. iPad Air. iPad Pro. Man, I can't see. Okay, I think this is it. So maybe if I click on this, maybe they'll pop up a different one with the price. No, they don't. Anyway, I think with the iPad, I think I could really make some good YouTube videos. By making notations on this and doing all kinds of things. I think would be. Oh, okay. Here we go. No, no prices. Why is? Okay. Okay. No, no price yet. That's strange. Oh, I see. Oh, for some reason, they, well, let's see, they don't have the price of the 2021 iPad 9th generation. They don't have the price of the, oh, you're not seeing that, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I'm going to stop here pretty quick. My first cataract, okay, it's buried. Where did I put that paper? Anyway. Okay. The 2020, let's see. Wow, look at, they have the price of the 5th generation and the 6th generation. It's kind of funny the way they're doing. Are they, oh, up. Nap time for me. Anyway, I even went to the service that I used a few times for, not for anything like this, where you can pay people to set something up for you. But I don't think I'd have to do that if I went to Apple. Okay, here's some prices down. Nope. Okay, I'm not going to dwell on that. But I, I, when I decided a month ago or whatever that I would like to go this route, I went to some YouTube sites who were using an Apple iPad, and I was really impressed with what you can do with it, and so I want to try that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm not sure if I'm going to try. I'm going to take a nap, and hope when I wake up my eyes are a little bit better. And also, I need to go to another computer, and I want to go to the Apple iPad, because this has been working fine. You may have watched my videos not long ago where I got this refurbished from Amazon PC, Dell, I think $120, and it's been working fine. And it even has Windows 11 on it. I didn't think they would, support Windows 11. But I think I could really make some good videos with Apple if I have time left. I'm 82 years of age. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching.